But maybe that not y'all know, but the one besides Keith that I always talk about, and every time I see him, I tell him thank you. Because it wasn't like we was enemies, or we didn't hang out together. Was 50 Cent, Mr. Curtis Jackson.
Wow.
Y'all, what is going on with Remy Ma, Papoose, and Clarissa Shields?
This is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues, and what a celebrity's issues.
You know when it really gets on my nerves, that grinds my gears. I mean, grind them so bad. Is that when y'all think I give it? Listen to me. I do not give a.
As Remy and Clarissa Shields continue to trade insults, 50 Cent is out there doing what he does best, stirring things up. You can be certain that he is acting as the perfect agitator. What is the real reason behind all of this? In the meantime, he developed his typical fluid pattern. Let's get started and take a close look at this story because it's completely crazy. She got involved in all of this drama after making an odd Instagram comment that was expressly aimed at professional boxer Clarissa Shields. In true 1950s fashion, he emailed Clarissa a shrewd warning, telling her to keep it online and not even consider stepping into Remy in person. Whatever you do, don't fight her. She will get the Blick champ. As you are all aware, 50 wasn't being casual when he threatened to put Remy on the block. He wasn't holding back when he brought up Remy's notorious 2007 case, the one in which he squeezed the trigger and left her there for a minute. Let's go on to the real tea that had everyone talking since Ma wasn't going to leave it unanswered. When she retaliated, things became worse. Take a listen to the outrageously inconsistent text messages that Remy posted on Instagram, claiming to be exchanges between Papoose and his alleged new partner, world boxing champion Clarissa Shields.
Y'all, what is going on with Remy Ma, Papoose, and Clarissa Shields? Like, I woke up this morning and I saw that Remy Ma and Clarissa Shields are going back and forth on Instagram. And then I guess Remy Ma caught Papoose and Clarissa on the phone falling asleep together and stuff like that.
Then the messages, you are the one who is married. If you can't at least sleep on the phone with me or be with me in person, it shouldn't be a big deal to let me know you made it home safely, Clarissa allegedly said in a very furious text message. But wait, there's more tasty stuff to come. Remy needed to add some flavor to the text in addition to sending it. After she added a caption, everyone stared and said dumb things. When I dozed off on the phone, Clarissa Shields was lying in my house, and he refused to leave. Because she was destined to be a boxing world champion, this bee was afraid. The moment she heard my voice, she hung up. Now that I've told you everything, you're not the only one indeed. That apology publicity squad has been circulating false material about me every day in an attempt to damage my reputation, and this woman knows Clarissa Shields. For far too long, he has presented himself as a gift from God. Papoose kept telling me, just stay quiet. That's the best thing to do, when I begged him to stop telling the story. Even though Remy wasn't done yet, she made a big impression. She criticized Clarissa on her Instagram stories, saying that she was attempting to damage her reputation by sharing false information and portraying Papoose as a hero. He added that he would never you because you are ugly, but I saw it all, and now the world will see. And now for the final blow, I'm worn out. The reply was immediately met by Clarissa's retort, you are such a tough boo, but I'm not going to sit there and take that no. How is a woman with 2 boyfriends mad at a man who has a girlfriend? I said to her, if I'm not the only one, why the hell are you tagging me? Remy clapped back, clarifying it that she wasn't out here trying to outdo males since she was clearly not going to tolerate it. Hey, Miss Shields, MFS won't just walk away because I'm a good woman who is a one boyfriend, just like I was a one husband, she said in her letter. She continued her criticism of Clarissa by stating, oh, and he's. I am the one with the bag, so please stop toying with me, as you don't want me as an enemy. As if that weren't enough, Remy insisted that she wasn't even angry. He would never buy you anything since he views himself as the prize and is more of a taker than a giver. She concluded by saying, I'm not even angry. In fact, I'm pleased, which is why your boyfriend is angry. Oh, and despite your admission that you felt foolish, you look silly now. When Remy and Clarissa were bickering, Papoose felt it was time to intervene and clear the air, at least in his opinion. He said that Remy was just upset because he had finally moved on and that he had repeatedly requested a divorce. Without thinking, Papoose produced. He's obviously done the back and forth, but what really got people to pay attention was his claim that Remy is fabricating the narrative out here, hinting that she's just upset that he's going. That was when things were bleak. Remy retaliated, saying that she had even accused Papoose of physical assault and that he had threatened to call the police on her before. But she wasn't just talking. She openly asserted that she had audio receipts to back up her statements. Just when we thought this story could get any more ugly, Pap entirely changed its direction. In his social media attacks, he claimed that Remy was the one who walked out and that he had been trying to get a divorce from her for months.
To spread that Remy was dealing with a battle rapper named Eazy, the block captain. And at one of the events, because she has this battle rap league, Chrome 23, and she hosts these rap battles. And at one of the rap battles, allegedly she was hugged up with battle rapper Eazy.
Pap, however, didn't stop there. He even went so far as to say that around Christmas 2023, Remy had an affair with battle rapper Eazy, the block commander. You can see that he didn't hold back when he called her out as a narcissist and made it plain that he was done keeping quiet. With the description, "This is where Remy was last Christmas while I was at home with my daughter," he wrote. Now that I've finally moved on, she's furious and making up stories. And Pap isn't finished yet. He became increasingly agitated and said that Remy had pleaded with him to tell a falsehood about having touched Eazy. "Yeah, you heard that right, apparently, Pap," he said. Eazy was knocked out and Remy wanted to remain silent. He went on to explain, "Even though I still receive texts from Papoose pleading with me to fabricate the knockout, I don't care because he didn't return a single blow that turned incredibly soft for her." Recall that during some of the most difficult years Remy was incarcerated, this man held her accountable. Pap was out here being a genuine one and demonstrating to the world what it truly meant to ride or die, in addition to taking care of her son and visiting her often.
So now we know Remy and Papoose as black love couples. We've been on that for years. Pap held Remy down while she served 6 years in prison. She ain't had nothing to worry about because he held everything down from her son to the home and everything. When she came home, everything was cool. After that, things got a little rocky.
Particularly after Remy returned home and they started acting as if she had never left. People genuinely admired them as a powerful couple and the embodiment of black love. They became deeply in love with Papoose, remained together for 6 long years, and made sure Remy had all the help she needed to return to the game.
It ever there was like a light bulb moment when it went off over my head, like, oh my God, he's the one. But I did notice that he was different from,
They were once the epitome of the black power couple and the focus of everyone's adulation, especially after Remy returned home and they became close as if she had never left. For 6 hard years, Papoose kept everything together and made sure Remy had all she needed to start living her life again.
So, I got one of them there tonight for you. Listen, happy birthday.
But this is right here, man. It must have been unusual for Papoose when he learned that the wife he had been faithful to for so long was allegedly spending Christmas with Eazy, the block captain. Remy is upset that Papoose might have moved on with a younger woman, which is like salt on an old wound. Papoose must feel as though everything he had created with Remy had collapsed overnight, going from being the epitome of loyalty and black love to having their business plastered all over the internet.
But what really happened?
What do you mean? Like,
what really put you there? What really?
It really was an accident that happened. I was out.
But she can't really talk about it in details.
But I can, not in details, but I can pretty much say I was out with people like...
Clarissa's Shield is now saying, "Hold my gloves," rather than merely berating me online. In a series of scathing posts, Sis went one step further and openly challenged Remy to a fight. In addition to trash talking, Clarissa utilized the entire conflict as a promotional tool for her battle in Flint, Michigan on February 2, 2025. When Clarissa came out as Clarissa Shields versus Real Remy Ma, you got a giant crash out, an advertisement for her holiday movie. When Remy and Clarissa are fighting and the boxing champion is standing 10 toes in the muck, supporters couldn't help but notice how unconcerned Papoose seemed. He seemed to have foreseen the whole event. There's fire inside. To put it mildly, she is actually turning cattle into business, which calls for a different level of effort. However, one thing is clear, Papoose is no longer being nice. According to some, he is subtly relishing the limelight, knowing that the internet is on his side following all of the charges. Some claim that he is allowing all of this to occur to ultimately end Remy. Please keep it a buck. Fifth is brushing the whole thing aside, saying it was a setup from the beginning. If you're not hip, Ray's entire life took a sharp turn to the left when things got real outside in 2007. Remy Ma's record isn't exactly perfect, and 50 Cent isn't acting out of the blue. A fight with her longtime friend Makita Barnes Joseph escalated into something far more dangerous when she was shot in the torso. Remy continues to assert that it was an accident, but the prosecutors would prefer not to hear it. When the judge was charged with illegally having a weapon and trying coercion in 2008, she wasn't taking sides. Remy insisted on her innocence even after being sentenced to 8 years in prison.
It was court.
When Remy brought up the subject during her sit-down on Wendy Williams' show, she made it clear where she stood by saying, "I didn't shoot anyone." Do you genuinely believe that the judge, the jury, and the DA were always correct? Remy's sister seemed baffled when she left Bedford Hills Correctional Facility for Women in New York in 2014. Let's face it, 6 years in prison could have left anyone baffled. The jail system has consumed almost 10 years of my life during the past 15 years. She informed the father, as a rapper, I've spent most of that time in prison rather than the free world, reclaiming Swing's position in hip-hop as if she had never left. Although she has never held back when talking about how her time in prison impacted her. Remy also openly discussed how those experiences continue to influence her, saying she would always remember the people she had to leave behind and the struggles she endured.
Now, Remy Ma, she has bailed out of jail. She actually is saying, and I'm gonna tell you the whole story, she was in custody because she allegedly punched Brittany Taylor at the concert that went down for Pretty Lou.
Tell the people who Brittany Taylor is.
Brittany Taylor's from Love and Hip Hop.
A girl who allegedly got punched.
This is more than what happened in 2007. Remy's anger has gotten her into trouble on multiple occasions. She was arrested in New York City in 2019 after being accused of molesting her by Love and hip-hop star Brittany Taylor during a benefit event. Let's not pretend that didn't occur. According to rumors, they got into a violent argument in the Irving Plaza Green Room, and the next thing you knew, Brittany was harmed. But Brittany wasn't going to tolerate this, so she immediately went to them. She was allegedly planning to sue Remy in civil court, but instead of dismissing this case, she brought herself in and was charged with a misdemeanor by the police. After all of this, Clarissa Shields would want to think twice before making any more charges, even as she adamantly said she was innocent. This whole event merely added another chapter to her already stellar record. Authorities also ordered the police to lock down all of the CCTV footage from that night and had her checked into a hospital. Barbs, both online and in person, as Remy's history speaks for itself, and she never backs down from a battle. When 50 Cent added his thoughts about this back and forth, it wasn't just him being petty. He was drawing connections because he knew about Ray's past, and let's be honest, it's not exactly a stretch to think that she might make a move if things really work out. Clarissa may have the upper hand, but Remy isn't the one to test. He added a slick as well, making jokes about her past and the events of 2007. There's little doubting that 50's comment struck a chord, whether he was merely trolling or sending a subliminal warning. Some people are writing for him and saying things like, "Man, that's just 50 being 50." Regardless of your opinion, Ray's past adds a whole new depth that makes this drama appear a little darker. Clarissa's constant chanting of Remy's name, Papoose dropping all the blame, and some think he went too far by bringing up old problems. 50 and the T, just wait until you see what's coming next. If you thought this was insane, you already know we've got you covered with all the updates. Since we are bringing you all the drama directly from the streets, feel free to press the subscribe button and keep checking back. You won't want to miss the next video, so don't forget to tap it on the end screen. Yes, this story is far from ended, but it will keep the internet entertained. Will Remy rise to the occasion and engage in combat? Will Papoose provide further receipts?